majority Java programmers are having this doubt. They have lot of confusion about object and object reference. If they understand the real meaning and purpose of object and of object reference, the many doubts are not created at all. Many doubts are not created. That's why once again I am explaining this concept. This is, imagine this, this is like creating string of the kite. This is the real kite, paper part of the kite. Just imagine, because one imagination is there with the real life thing. If you there, you never have confusion, because it gives you support for your ideas and all that. Just keep in mind. Now first one, this is object reference we are creating. That means string of the kite we are creating. That is, we are giving name. Here for the sake of simplicity, R1 I have given. You can give drawing room, bedroom, study room, like that. Any name you can give, nothing wrong in that. Okay, now we are able to give names. We are able to give names means it is created on stack. So without names and all that, we cannot refer anybody. We accustomed to that culture. Understand? You call your friends, your classmates with a name only, not with their roll numbers and all that. So our habit is using names. Then only we are convenient. That's why this is the issue. Here with a name we represent anything. So here for this purpose, object reference we are creating this R1, and this is room type. This is created on stack. Here one condition is this R1 can refer only room type objects, nothing else. Student type object it cannot refer, employee type object it cannot refer. It can refer only room type object. So we created, and its shape is like this. Up to this array, remember. Thereafter we keep it aside. Come here. This is the second part. New room. This is called constructor. Constructor, and about constructor little later. Actually in Java pool I have given many types of constructors are there. A detailed explanation I have given, and when you call that you may get it out. Here no constructor method definition is there. Then if you call how it is represented, you may get it out. One thing, Java compiler, if you don't define a constructor, Java compiler provides you a invisible compiler, and that is called system defined default constructor. I don't want to dump many things on you and all that right now. So this is a constructor call. New performs three jobs. First one is it allocates sufficient amount of memory, required amount of memory for the room object. First, it allocates a sufficient amount of memory for the room object. How much memory is required means depending on the instance variables you can calculate. It is int type, there are three variables. Int type size is 4, 3 into 4, 12. 12 bytes memory it allocates, and imagine this like this. This is created on heap. Here we cannot give names. It is just you can identify as this is room type. Okay. Second job is it calls the room constructor method. Room constructor method initializes all instance variables with the default values until you give values. Now you are not giving any values. Here you are not giving any values. That's why all the instance variables are initialized by default values. What are the default values? For integer type and floating point type, that is 0. So all the three are integer type. So this constructor initialized all the three instance variables with zeros. Second job. Third job. Now this and this separate, no connection at all. So this assignment operator is there. It then new operator assigns its reference, object's reference. Reference means initially, because as it is a new word, what is that you get a confusion. You just don't call, but you understand is the address. Address. So address of this thing to object reference. Object reference. Then what happens? This position is created. This is your paper part of the kite. This is the string. It is ready. From a real time point of view, also I tell you. Suppose your father appointed one contractor for you. What for? He had to purchase a plot, construct a house, and hand over the keys to you. 3 jobs he performs. First thing is he purchases a plot. Thereafter he constructs a house. Thereafter he hands over the keys of the house to you. Then only you can get the position. So you perform exactly same job. It allocates memory for the object number 1, and it constructs it with the initial default values. Thereafter it hands over a key to this. That way you understand. Now object is ready, your kite is ready, you can use it. Now this is the way you understand, and several examples in several contexts I give you and all that. Program by program you can refine your ideas. That only I am telling you, this is abstract knowledge. Gradually it will become concrete. Don't worry about that. Whatever you understood, you satisfy with it for this program. Later you can refine and all that. Ultimately you can have concrete knowledge. Okay, but this is not a doubt. Understand? Okay, now this is the state is created. Now without values, what to do with zeros? Length is 0, breadth is 0, height is 0, means there is nothing. Your object is nothing. It is just it is a illusion. Now how can you initialize? So we are calling instance method, that is set data. In blueprint class we have defined set data. Now you see instance method. That's why how can you call that? Using instance only you can call. Now one thing I am telling you, now for understanding sake you call it as object reference. This you object, this is a real thing, this is the string like. But once it is linked to, you treat it as one. Once you tie the string to the kite, until string is tied to the kite, there are 2 things, string, kite. Once you tie up, that is only one. So you treat it as one, it is object. Okay. Now how can you call this method? What we call instance method. How can you call? Via object only, R1 set data. Otherwise it has no entity. You are talking about RAM. Who is that RAM? With reference to RAM only, what is RAM is having a value. In the same way, R1 dot set data. Instance, that's why we call it as instance method. Instance method means object oriented method, or via object only we can use it. Now whatever values you want to give 20, 15, 10. 20 for length, 15 for breadth, 10 for height you are giving. Where they go? Now you called it. Then where they go? They go like this. 20 is assigned to the parameter length, 15 is assigned to the parameter breadth B, and this is to H. Then in turn what is happening? The 20 is assigned to length, 15 is assigned to breadth, and 10 is assigned to height. These are originally 0 is replaced by 20, 0 is replaced by 15, 0 is replaced by 10. That happens. So all your initial instance variables are initialized with the required values. Okay, now that is ready. Now you have to produce your output. Already you have seen. Now I wiped off because of space problem. Now you see, now SOP, system out println statement. Now whatever format like printf and all that, how you use C, here even though it is little complicated, you have to write according to your requirement in a elegant format. Now initially I showed you here how you want to print your output. Room 1 length is equal to 20 SFT, like this you want to print. In order to print this same thing, how we have to write a system out print line, just it is a big thing, that's why I use a SOP. You understand that in the first program I explained, and you can see the detailed explanation in Java pool, Java concept pool. I explain it in detail, because here one challenge you understand, and suppose new I have taken a lot of time to explain, that is my duty to explain. In the same way, every element, if I explain in detail and all that, we are distracted from the main task. That's why, as far as possible, minimum explanation I am giving. If you want complete explanation, you please refer to Java concept book. Okay, now SOP, system out to print line. Now what you expected, room 1 length is equal to, now you see one string I have written, one string, whatever I wanted, one string I have written, just you see, this is the string. Okay, thereafter plus, actually plus is a concatenation operator. To join the strings and all that different elements, we use plus. It is it not only adds numericals, and it is used, the second purpose of this is here in SOP statement, to concatenate strings we can use this plus used. Now what you want to write, this 20, where is the 20 stored? In the length. Whose length? Room 1's length. Length independently has no meaning, so how it will be meaningful? R1 dot length, instance variable, so R1 dot length we have written. Instance variables are, now we see instance method, how you represent? R1 dot set data. Instance variable, how you represent? R1 dot length plus. Then SFT, for the sake of number of units, you write a string SFT. Okay, now it is a statement, you close it. Now when it is executed, this is printed. Room 1 dot room 1 length 20 SFT. In the same manner, you can write R1 breadth, R1 height. Then whatever output you expect and all that, everything is printed, whatever format you want and all that. So in this chapter only, because you should achieve perfect command over SOP, system out print line statement, because without that you cannot write any Java program. In Java, 50 to 75% program statements are in any program are SOP statements only. That's why we should achieve perfect command. At the end of the chapter, at least 3-4 programs I am giving, and all the functionalities, and what are the intricacies or limitations or some unique features and all that we can demonstrate through this program. So this is the thing. In this way we have to write source code. Here certain points I have to tell you. In the previous program, first program, only one class is there, first program. That's why file name we have given first program. But here two classes are there, room, other one is room demo. So which one should be given for file name? You may obviously get it out. Here one thing very simple, here two, some other program you can find more than two, many classes may be there depending on the requirement of the domain, problem domain. So here in one of the classes only you write main. You cannot write main in more than one class of the program. So in which class you write the main, that class name only you have to take as file name. So What file name you give for this program? roomdemo.java. roomdemo.java you give, and you save it as like that. Thereafter, using Java compiler, you compile it. Then what happens? Already explained to you. A bytecode file is created automatically. If your compilation is successful, bytecode file is created. What is the name of that? roomdemo.class. You can find. After bytecode file is created, you have to interpretation, you have to implement. Then in byte, already I told you, bytecode is nothing but intermediate code, source code, bytecode, and mission code or executable code. Then what happens? This bytecode on a Java interpreter convert bytecode into mission code, and it is implemented on the particular mission or on any mission. Then output is printed according to our requirement. So this, as it is our first program, you may have some abstractions. Gradually you can have the concrete knowledge, but don't bother about what you didn't understand. This is not a doubt. So you proceed further. There are 400 programs for you, and programs and projects and all that, and ultimately you become master over Java object oriented programming.